and go denyo. Oh, what that dang. This is the voice of the patriot, where we speak truth to power. Now here we don't criticize, but if we must, it would only be on one condition: to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. Just in case you never knew, here we are not neutral. Oh yes, we are not neutral. We have taken sides. The side of the truth. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. This is the headquarters of the truth. And my name is Blakk Rasta. Now today we have a number of issues we need to look at, and I want to go straight up to the point, my brother, my sister. Story number one.
This is 3FM.
And I'm reading this from Ghana Web. It says, official, Kennedy Agyapong withdraws from NPP's thank you tour. And I read, a former NPP flag bearer hopeful, Kennedy Agyapong, has officially withdrawn from the ongoing thank you tour of the party. His withdrawal from the tour comes after one of his supporters was stabbed during an altercation. Now, speaking in an interview on UTV on Wednesday, April 30, 2025, and that's today, Kennedy Agyapong said that this decision to withdraw from the tour is for the sake of unity. He added that he was also withdrawing because he feels that he cannot protect his supporters. NPP lost the last election. I decided to join Dr. Bawumia when he invited the other contestants for the tour for the sake of unity. But with everything happening, I feel that if I withdraw, it will help Dr. Bawumia because of the tension. I feel that I'm not able to protect my supporters because some people have made up their mind that only one candidate should be present. And so, if you go somewhere and someone is in your t-shirt, he or she becomes a target. Kennedy Agyapong, who is a former member of parliament for Asin North, said in Tree. He added, this does not bring unity. So for the sake of unity, I am withdrawing to take care of the guy who was stabbed. I want to applaud Kennedy Agyapong. For the first time in an umpteen number of utterances, many people would agree with Kennedy Agyapong. My brother, what happened? They went out there, my brother, my sister, on a so-called thank you tour. A tour devoid of any common sense. A tour which is an insult to the sensibilities of Ghanaians. A tour that is supposed to be a relaunch of the career of a man touted as the biggest liar Ghana has ever produced. A tour that is supposed to be a mockery of the political party that sat on Ghanaians' necks for 8 solid years, strangulating innocent Ghanaians with heavy taxes and arrogance. My brother, my sister, right from the onset, many pundits of the game made it clear that this so-called thank you tour would have been better programmed and titled I Am Sorry Tour, or better still, National Sorry Tour. My brother, my sister, watch this now. Dr. Bawumia has lost so much when it comes to popularity. In fact, he followed a man who was most arrogant, as we were warned by WikiLeaks in the days. I don't know how many people still remember WikiLeaks. It was a portal that, in fact, hacked some American diplomatic files and declassified them on that portal, my brother, my sister, it said that Nana Akufo-Addo was most arrogant. He did not look good in African prints, and for that matter, he loved to wear suits. My brother, my sister, we didn't take the warning of WikiLeaks seriously, and therefore, we decided to vote Nana Akufo-Addo into power. He came and taught us that yes, WikiLeaks was right. He was most arrogant. He will order chiefs and kings to all stand up and greet him. After all, the King of Kings, Nebuchadnezzar of our time, is here. My brother, my sister. Now, their own research told them that close to 70% of the people who voted against the NPP, it was all because of Nana Akufo-Addo's abysmal performance, including his vice president, Dr. Bawumia, who was nothing but a stooge. Bawumia was nothing but a puppet in the hands of Nana Akufo-Addo, Kodiko, and he pulled him left, right, and center and decided which direction he should go. And I am not saying this. It is Bawumia himself who said it, that he was only a mate. A mate. My brother, my sister, the mate that he was, he had no say in the government of King Nebuchadnezzar. Today, my brother, my sister, thanks to the Almighty Father of creation, that dangerous demonic governance has ended, and a new governance has taken over the government of John Dramani Mahama. Today, many Ghanaians are beginning to be hopeful again. They see a ray of hope in the tunnel at the other end. My prayer is that John Dramani Mahama, in fact, recognizes this, and I believe he has, so that he will be able to deal with the situation better. Now, my brother, my sister, let's look at this. They started a certain thank you tour. It was nothing but an insult to the sensibilities of Ghanaians. Ghanaians have rejected you after 8 years of nonchalance and irresponsible behavior. My brother, my sister, it was also a campaign to relaunch the career of Bawumia. But Agyapong, the gentleman that he was told to be, he decided to join this. And when they arrived at wherever they were supposed to be talking to the people, see what happened. It was said by Agyapong that students came in there singing and dancing, my brother, my sister, to cheer him on. Bawumia and his people couldn't take it. After all, the thank you tour is all about Bawumia and no other person. You know what happened now? After the students finished everything and were going back, a member of the team of Agyapong decided to give 1,000 Ghana cedis to the students as transportation. In fact, this was at the blind side of Agyapong. A certain macho man snatched the money, and there immediately was an altercation when a student asked for the money to be returned. At the end of the day, a knife was pulled after this macho man allegedly showed a gun, pulled out same gun, and fired warning shots in the air to frighten the students. Whatever happened, same macho man pulled out a knife and stabbed a student, all in the name of a thank you tour. Now this party is disintegrated for good. Now the forces that are disintegrating the party in disunity are more powerful than the forces that are supposedly uniting this party. As long as the name of Nana Akufo-Addo keeps being mentioned in the party, the demonic forces of disunity will continue from the land of the Lilliputs. My brother, my sister, Agyapong has taken a very good decision. My brother, if there's anybody violent between Agyapong and Bawumia, many will think that it is Agyapong. But the gentleman that he is a man of his own. He has decided to pull out so Bawumia can continue with this sluggish insult of a tour called the thank you tour. Who are you thanking? And what are you thanking them for? Instead of sitting back and giving yourselves a breather to be able to find out exactly what went wrong, even though it is clear, like the writing on the wall in the days of Nebuchadnezzar, they still want to pretend they don't know. To Canada, Japan, listen, you have done very well. In fact, it's one of the best decisions you would have ever taken. And I'm glad that you've taken time to be able to go out there and take care of this sick person. In fact, only God knows how many more faithfuls you are going to be winning on your side. As for Bawumia, my brother, my sister, even if he's endorsed by Jesus Christ, nobody is going to vote for him in the primaries to come. Take my word. He will not win. They have regretted putting him there. It was the influence of Nana Akufo-Addo that pushed him through. Today, my brother, my sister, he's busily going around discrediting Nana Akufo-Addo, blaming him for the woes of the party. And that is rightfully true. But the big question is, why did he not resign when he realized that he had been relegated to the office of the mate? I leave it here. Now the next story I want to look at is also related to Canada, Japan. I'm reading that from Ghana Web. It says, I will not allow Abronye, who I fed, disrespect me anyhow. And this is Canada, Japan striking again. I read, former NPP flag bearer hopeful and ex-member of parliament for Asin Central, Canada, Japan, has fired back at the party's Bono regional chairman, Kwame Bafo, popularly known as Abronye DC, following a heated altercation between the two during the NPP's thank you tour at Brekum on April 28, 2025. In an interview on Wednesday, April 30, 2025, Canada Japan expressed outrage over what he described as Abronye's disrespectful remarks, which he perceived as personal insinuations. The clash, which nearly disrupted the tour, led by former Vice President Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, stemmed from Abronye's welcome address, where he criticized advocates of amnesty for suspended NPP members, a proposal championed by Agyapong, calling such moves a threat to party discipline. Agyapong, speaking in the interview on Wednesday, defended his immediate response to Abronye's outburst at Brekum, emphasizing his long-standing support for Abronye and his statement, which he deemed disrespectful to him. Somebody that I fed. I've given him cash. I spent 480,000 Ghana cedis on his campaign. This man told me that Bawumia has brought a Nordner to unseat him, so he needed help. I gave him 480,000 Ghana cedis. They should go and ask my nephew, Osafo, and they do say, he stated. He expressed shock that Abronye, whom he considered a good friend, would publicly disrespect him, adding that, I am saying that I have done all these things for him, but he stood in front of party people to disrespect me. And people are saying, you don't have to say anything. Refusing to stay silent, Kennedy emphasized that his response was in line with fidelity, in authenticity, and decisive leadership. If Canada Japan is quiet, it doesn't mean I will allow anybody to take me for granted. This is not Canada Japan. It means I will be faking. The truth is the truth, and I would always defend the truth. Sankara, Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso said something picturesque. He said, he who feeds you controls you. In these times, people can take your money and your food and look you in the eye and disrespect you, like what gutter-mouthed Abronye DC did in Brekum. This is a man devoid of common sense. Whenever Abronye DC speaks, in fact, I wonder whether when he went to school, and I can imagine the kind of secondary school he went to, whether Courtesy for Boys and Girls was yet published or unpublished. When I went to school at TIM Ahmadiyya Secondary School, the first prospectus they asked us to bring, in fact, and we were given this on a silver platter, Courtesy for Boys and Girls. How to behave at table, how to behave in public, in fact, how to even dress. Manners. Abronye DC went to a certain school, that's if he went to one at all. My brother, my sister, that taught discourtesy. Listen, this is supposed to be a so-called thank you tour. It is supposed to be a tour that is supposed to unite people. Uncourteous, disrespectful, irresponsible Abronye DC stood and opened his mouth, casting deep insinuations about a man who has fed him before. You don't bite the hands that feed you. Even if those hands don't feed you anymore, remember what our fancy friends say. Okonfobona, what's na yarefo? Ama okonfopa betono na onyinuma. When a bad herbalist is able to keep a patient alive until the real herbalist comes or the good herbalist comes, when you are giving credit, you don't exclude the bad herbalist. Canada, Agyapong might have given you some money in the past, fed you after spreading propaganda about a certain Northerner that Bawumia brought to contest you. Maybe Bawumia gave you more later. And for that matter, you look down on whatever this guy gave you. Where is the loyalty in the party? And to Canada, Agyapong, I have one word for you. Don't ever think that your money is enough to buy you loyalty. That is not true. Don't ever think that the money you have is enough to buy friends and loyalty. You will be deceiving yourself, and people like Abronye DC would always fly in your face. If I were you, whoever I have given money before to, whoever I have supported, it will remain between me and my God. But every now and then, when Canada Agyapong speaks, he's talking about somebody that he has fed before, somebody he's giving money to before. If you are able to exclude that from your rhetoric, you would be a better politician. And this is a piece of advice from your younger brother. Yes, we have ungrateful people. Even Jesus Christ, who mentored Judas and taught him life principles very dire to his livelihood, he rewarded him with a demonic case that saw him at the other side of life. My brother, my sister, having said this, I leave it here. Now the next story I want to look at is very deep. My producer says, Blakk Rasta, don't let us look at this. Let's wait and look at it another time. But when I have such warnings, that is when I want to even go into them. I like to treat stories other people cannot. If you are ready, let's look at this. I'm reading this from Ghana Web, and it says, ask the speaker how many people he travels with. Joe Wise slams move to remove Chief Justice. And I read, a former First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Joseph Osei Owusu, popularly known as Joe Wise, has criticized the suspension of Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Tokunu and an investigation aimed at her removal from office. According to the former member of parliament for the Bekwai constituency in the Ashanti region, the Chief Justice has committed no offense that warrants her removal. He argued that the basis for the move, the allegation that she traveled on official duty with her husband and daughter, is not substantial evidence. What is happening now is part of a pre-planned agenda, and they are hiding behind individual petitions to do something unlawful, something the Chief Justice hasn't done. He pointed out that other high-ranking officials, such as the Speaker of Parliament, Alban Sumana Kingsford Bagbin, also travel with multiple people. Now, speaking in an interview on NEET FM on April 26, 2025, Joe Wise alleged that President John Dramani Mahama and his party, the National Democratic Congress, the NDC, had premeditated the Chief Justice's removal even before the 2024 elections and are now hiding behind public petitions to carry out this. There is no report that shows that the woman has committed any offense or broken the law to warrant punishment. But it is clear that the NDC government had already planned to remove the Chief Justice even before the elections were held. Somebody said something that I thought was interesting. He said in America, you see somebody called Joseph Rich, and he's very, very rich. You go to England and you would see Thomas Nice, and he's so nice. Yet you come to Ghana, Mary Beauty, and you want to hide your eyes anytime you see this person's face. It's like you are in the zoo and all of a sudden a gorilla has jumped in your face. Joe Wise, and there's nowhere you would find wisdom around such a person. Hallelujah. That's what somebody said. My brother, my sister, this same Joe Wise was the guy who forgot that he was supposed to take his tablets, whether it's cancer tablets or kidney tablets or headache tablets or what is that thing called? Whatever it was. He forgot that he needed to take his erectile dysfunction tablets, cancer tablets, headache tablets, whatever tablets it was. He forgot until it was time to vote in the Parliament House. My brother, my sister, and by getting up and excluding himself, his party was supposed to benefit from this illegality. Do we all remember? I leave it here. But listen to his level of thinking. That is why I keep telling you, not everybody called wise is truly wise. And not everybody called beauty is truly beautiful. Not everybody called rich is truly rich. My brother, my sister, Joe Wise says that the Speaker of Parliament travels with multiple people. Therefore, he's implying that whether the Constitution allows it or not, as long as there is a precedent, it is okay. And this is a former member of Parliament. Dangerous mindset. And this is common with Ghanaians, especially politicians. Oh, during their regime, they did this, they did that. Now we are doing that and they are talking and then everybody's condemning us. If they did it, whether it was right or wrong, we will also do it. So there's a cyclical rotation of stagnance in our democracy. My brother, my sister, I am hurt. Listen to a man called Wise. He says the Speaker of Parliament travels with multiple people. Therefore, the Chief Justice can also do that. It is not anything bad. This is a Chief Justice who is politically exposed. We all saw how she worked in favor of the party that chose her as the Chief Justice. We are tired of this partisan life. Therefore, we want her out. We want people who think Ghana, not political parties. We are tired and we want her out. My brother, my sister, and these guys who call themselves wise are making utterances that are unwise. If the Speaker of Parliament is traveling with multiple people, can we look at the legality of that and start to make it happen? You, a former member of Parliament, you just got out of Parliament barely 4 months ago. What did you do about your Speaker traveling with multiple people? Was it legal? Was it illegal? You shut up for all 8 years. Now you are propagandizing it. It's a shame to our democracy. There is nothing that will save this Chief Justice from going home. I support this. She should leave immediately. Pack bag and baggage. If it hurts you, please look for a transformer around your home. Give it a solid hug. I leave it here.
Ya waleta matamsanga